Welcome back to KDP A to Z. Today I'm going to be talking to you about creating a great cover for your book. Now, this should only be done after you've formatted your book so that you know exactly how many pages your book is and the size that you're going to be making. So for this example, I'm just going to be showing you one that I have made myself. So I have already formatted it to be 7.5 by 9.25 inches, and I've got it into the correct template. If you don't know where to find these templates, please take a look back on my other videos. The one that you want to find is this one, Getting the Right Format for KDP, so that you know where to put your template. So it's that one. Okay. Now, if you look at this particular book that I've made, which is a crossword book, you can see in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen that I'm on page 163 out of 172. So I know that my book is 172 pages long. Now, bear in mind that it's pages, not leaves, so it is the page numbers that you want, so don't get confused there on those. So if it says it's 172 pages, that is what you want to be putting into the cover calculator. So now we know what size book we are going for, we can start to make our cover. So what I want you to do is go back to your KDP account, okay, and I want you to click Create a Book. Like I said before, Amazon KDP isn't the easiest to navigate your way around. There's an awful lot of stuff on here about creating covers and all sorts of stuff. But what I want you to do is just type into here, cover calculator, and press enter. Now I want you to click on down here, create a paperback cover. Okay, and it will take you onto this page. Then I would like you to click on cover calculator and template generator here. Okay, and it will take you over to here. All we have to do now is enter in our book information. So we're going for a binding type of paperback because most of our books will be paperback. Interior, for a crossword, you don't need colour at all. So we're going for black and white pages. The paper type that we want, we always sort of go with the cheapest option, which is the white paper. Page turn direction. I don't know why they have different options for this. It's always left to right. Okay, now we want to put in our trim size, but measurement units, we want it to be in inches. If we go for millimeters, we'll get a bit confused because I've measured mine in inches, and we're going for 7.5 by 9.25 inch. Now our page count, remember, was 172. And we just click on to calculate dimensions. So here we are, it is calculated exactly what size our book cover needs to be. So just jot down the size that you want, which is up here, the full cover size. So my width will be 15.637 inches wide, so that's along the length here, and the height will be 9.5 inches. So that width is taking into account the back of the book, the spine here, and this then will be the front of your book. Okay, so once you've noted down that full cover size, which is important, this full cover size, the width and the height, I want you to download the template. Okay. Then what I would like you to do, once you've downloaded that, is I want you to go onto a new page and go on to search in the search bar, Canva. Now, Canva is completely free to use. You can upgrade it, but there's actually no need to be honest. You can do it all for free. So you just click on the top one here. So what are we going to design? There's an awful lot of things, but we actually want to go on to custom size. So remember that width that we put in before? It's 15.637 by 9.5. And the size that we want it in is inches. 15.637. Converted it there. 9.5. And we're going to create a new design. Okay. So here we have the correct size for our cover. Okay. Now I want you to go back into uploads, and I want you to go in and upload your media. So I want you to go and find your downloads that you've just downloaded on that template. Okay. So that should be in your download file, and you just upload it. So once you've done that, all you have to do to transfer the image that you want onto here, you click on it. Okay, now for some reason it's come up smaller. Remember, this was exactly the correct size that we wanted. So let's just make this image a little bit bigger so that it exactly fits the page. Okay, so this is actually going to be your template for your cover. Okay, now this shows in the red here, that is where you're allowed to have background color on your book, but do not put any important information into this red area here. Okay, that is not a good thing to do. In your spine part, you can put information there on your spine if you want it to. Just bear in mind that if it's not a very thick book, you don't have the room for a spine text. Okay, so that they will reject it. If it's a very thin book, don't bother with putting any spine text on it because it will just get rejected. But this yellow area here is where the barcode, the free barcode that Amazon will give you, will be put on. Okay, so leave that area there, that yellow bit, blank. And then we want to fill in our cover. This is the back bit here that I'm pointing to with the mouse. And this will be your front page, just here. Okay, so on Canva, you can find an awful lot of free resources that you can use. So if we go on to, say, backgrounds, we can have a little look on here as to what background we'd like. But just bear in mind, some of them you do need the pro account for. But if you just want a basic background, now that is coming up with Canva on it. That's because that's part of the paid one. Okay, so we don't want that. We could just go with a simple block color for our background. There we are. Okay, now this front image here, to make it easier for you to work with, we can change the transparency on it. So let's drop that right down to 20%. So that just shows us our template underneath, or on top in fact, but it also shows us a little bit about what our book is going to look like. Now just bear in mind, we will be removing that template completely. Okay, so now filling in some bits and pieces. Let's have a look for crossword. Click on here. Okay. Now this is a nice handy clue on the photo section if it's going to be a paid one or a free one. So if it's free, it doesn't have that little crown there. So we've got a little crown. So if you want to buy that one, you can, or you can sign up to Canva. You obviously can get a free trial for 30 days. So if you're just doing a couple of books and you want to make use of the free trial, you'll get access to loads of the photographs. But let's just go for one that doesn't have a crown next to it. One that we like the look of. Now, they've all got crowns next to them, haven't they? But, right. Yeah, a lot of them have got crowns. Let's just select this one. This is a nice enough image, I suppose. All right. So we can resize it by grabbing at the corners. We can also rotate it here using this sort of button. And we can crop it by grabbing here and so on. So if we don't want, say, that pen, we can crop down and edit that out. Okay. To move it, you just touch onto it. Let's center that. Now that's quite a nice guide there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little pink line. If I move it, it'll go. That just shows you that that's pretty central. And that's saying that it's a good place to put it. Okay, so I do like to follow the guidelines on these. So let's put that in the center of the page. And then we can add some text to our book. We have different fonts and so on, different patterns that we could use. Let's go with Hustle. Here we are. So that's a nice free one. Oh, it's a bit dark actually, isn't it? But we can always change the color here. Let's go for blue. That's a bit better, isn't it? Okay. And then we just type into there what we want. I'm going to call this crosswords. We can change the text size by clicking onto this. We can make it a different font. And so on. So there we are. We have changed our text. So I want that to be on the front. And remember, it cannot cross these red lines. So you don't want anything going into that red area there. I'm just going to change the size right down so that it does fit properly. There we are. It's nice. And let's add another text. We want a free one. So let's go for, here we go, glow. There we are. And again, we can change the color up to be whatever color we want by selecting on the text color here. I like that one. And click into it to change the type. So we're going to put by KDP A to Z. There we go. Shrink it down. That'll also change the font size if we want it to. We can expand it out. And we can move it into position. Okay, so we're going to add some text now onto the back of the page. Here we are. So you do like to have a little bit of a blurb, don't we, on these things? If we want to rotate that so it's more straight, we can, because the text here seems to be a little bit odd. And a great collection of crossword puzzles. Okay, that's nice. Just going to make it a little bit bigger so that it fills the whole page. And again, let's just get that straight so that purple line lines up there. So that will be correct. Click off that and we're done. Now, this is by no means going to be my front cover. I'm just trying to demonstrate what to do. Okay, so then after that, we need to delete this background. Okay. Now, remember, you can put information into the spine. If you want to do that, let's just show you how to do that. So I'm going to type crosswords. Okay, and the easiest way to do it, I'm going to shrink it down to be the right size. Let's expand it out. The simplest way that you can do that is rotating it. Okay, so let's get it horizontal. Right. And then we can move that into the spine area. So if you want to add a spine, then you can go ahead and do that. Let's make the font smaller so that remember, it's got to fit in between those red lines there. If it overlaps, you will get it rejected. Okay. There we are. And it's within the red lines. So remembering that we don't have any red lines covered. Oh, I can see a problem here. I've covered the barcode. So let's remove that and put it there. Remember, we don't want to be covering anything that they've told us not to. Okay. So if we grab hold of the main image that we've started with, we can either drag that off and put it back if we want to. But that will be your front cover. And remember, that is where your barcode will be. So let's completely delete that template there. And then we'll go on to File. And we go on to Download. We need to download it as a PDF file. Nothing else will get accepted for KDP. So we just click on, it doesn't matter whether you go standard or print. Let's just go for the print one. And you just have to download it and save it onto your computer. So once it's downloaded, you can open your file and you can see it there. It's been saved as a download. We can then save it to wherever we want. Okay, so that's it. That's how to create a free cover simply and quickly in the exact right size that you will need for your book, and no risk of getting it rejected on KDP because we haven't violated anything on that there. We haven't covered any of the red lines in our templates, and it's a pretty great job. You can obviously take a bit longer if you would like to, but that's a very quick and simple way to produce a very fast front cover. Thank you ever so much for watching. As usual, if you do like the video, please click on the like button. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments down below. I'm happy to answer any questions, and feel free to subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified every time I make a new video. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.